Iyo, 360 Mac ya?
Check, check, check. Good. Check. Two, 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 two. Hey, hey. No buzz, no hang, no anything. Yongo?
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all, and a warm welcome to Constitution Avenue. This is what this road is called. And it sits right in front of Gladstone Road, where the new ONOC house is situated. On our program, we did have it down for a 2 o'clock start. We're just waiting on Mr. Bach's delegation, and once they leave the GPH to come through, we'll begin the formalities. But just to give you an overview of the program, because we, like we did when we welcomed him on Tuesday morning, yesterday, we're also going to be doing a traditional, it's called Vakasombu when he arrives, just up the front here. And then he will be brought in, he'll take his seat at the top, and then we'll present a Sebu Sebu, and then we'll go into the program proper. But that's the order. He's the only principal speaker this afternoon, because he will officially open ONOC House. And what we'll do is the programs are broken into two parts. After he's delivered his address, we will take him across. He'll be escorted by Dr. Mitchell, and who is our ONOC president, and our Secretary General, Mr. Rick Blas, and they'll move him across to the building. We will screen that on the screens you have in front of you. They will do, we have Reverend Bagwan, who will bless the building, and then we'll have President Bach officially unveil the plaque as well as cut the ribbon to signify the opening of the building. And then once that's done, we take them on a tour of the building, but we've got some refreshments also prepared at the back. So as soon as we complete the opening formalities next door in ONOC House, we'll break for afternoon tea. And then we also have an opportunity to take you around. So we'll take people in sets of 10 or 15. The staff who are in the uniform that I'm in will take you and show you and introduce our new ONOC House to you. So that's the overview of the program. Again, the music from Ndulali, who's the group that's entertaining us today. We'll have one more number from them, and then we'll begin the program. I'm told that President Bach, I think, has left the GPH. Thank you. So just a short number from the choir, and then we'll begin.
Matavana ni kuwa. Dosana kamuna nga may tubera ke uni serrau. na kamunanga na kemuli bakasombu sa kamunanga sa tsugo ni pali bola ena non pali bola na komiti ni ngito ena wasa pasifika mabuasa na kana presidenti kin non vanua thambuli chatsiko non kamunanga tal tsunga na presidenti bebuke ben non vanua palau boasa na kana belutaki non kamunanga sa tsiko na puni bola tundei na puni bola lebu i komiti ena lomini komiti ni ngito ena was pasifika non vanua guambo sana kena belutaki non kamunanga saka na bagale silesi erna pali bola sana mai dolai saka tuna singa ni kuwa na singa langi soli saka tuna kenan raki ma derek tali kinan donan roni pepa bou dolai saka chicken na pali ni bola erna tutaka uturai saka chicken na itu venga rabi membaleta na dhimbite ke banua kenan ngito kando kan kelid lebutu na bese pura na kena kamu nango ile lai pagabini na tagsa chicken no mani alu binaka balabu ka kursa chumina wakolo meme siro misa chukuma indona bono ile lai meme ndolai binaka na pali bola pamimbi na tutu oni kelai tanikina sambalam balabu na nongo yangada na ibakate ke ni kamu nanga na ibaka sumpah turanga sa kamu nanga tali chunga non kamu nanga tuke ni banua sa wirsa chiko na ngon turanga na tuisuba non banua na dormai sa patamber sa chika na banua ina bosa na presidenti ni komiti ngito na be sai bura kana kene muri me ondoru saka kawabura
na kamunanga mbeka medapa mai luba chechi wana wani kamunanga na lingandra na president ni songo ningito ibura na kamunanga na ibasombu baturanga sadambe baturanga chiko mai na songo ningito na wasa pasifika sadambe batabu kuchela mena kana banua ndonu mai wana turanga na tuisuba na kamunanga na ibasombu baturanga sara vingo mena no munu kamunanga na turanga na president ni songo ningito ibura na singa lebu ni singa binani kwa sara da bucheche wana non roba bine binaka lebu ena mbalabu ni ngai via mai ni redo mai vanjina jina tikia na itobo ni viva turanga taki ni rani basomburi na ngai na singa lebu ni singa binani kwa sakale bukina na ba bine binaka bina wale mba na yalo ni viva turanga taki bina wale mba na yalo ni viva mene randa urongo vetu randa usara vetu na kene wara ndo matana tikena no ngoni turanga ina singa lebu ni kwa ni redo mai ramai vanjina jina tikia ni ngarabi bokilinga vira sakale buna non roba bine binaka no bosotia ranlinga lala na turanga na president na liu ni gito ibura reba na kai tu vira mena ndolele sikena na lo mundo binaka na nungu ni turanga na no mundo kamunanga sai ware tege butula ni lo mundo binaka na yalo ni bivi ngomi na yalo ni biva toke taki ni sarao ni ndo wasombure na ngai na singale uni singa ni ko sakale buna babe ni binaka ya sa bangare na kana bosa na kana yalo binaka na kana yalo saba wana kalombula me sombu na biba kalonga taki kalonga tsiko mandala na songo ningita na wasa pasifika ra kalonga tawata kinena kana bubale bitevini sarandambe ndo bata na singale uni singa binani ko kalonga tutugina na bonua rambaki kalonga tabu tule kinena songo ni ngito ibura mana njina amdo na kamunanga mbega levu na kana yalo binaka mbega levu au chimbaka naka
President Bach, Mrs. Bach, members of the IOC delegation, ladies and gentlemen, We will begin our formalities this morning, as is tradition in the Olympic movement, with the Olympic anthem. I will ask you to please rise, if you're able to, for the Olympic anthem. Thank you. I invite you to your seats now. The lyrics of the Olympic flame begin, Olympian flame immortal, whose beacon lights our way and blaze our hearts with the fires of hope on this momentous day. And indeed, it is a momentous day for us of Oceania as we welcome our president to officially open our first and our new ONOC house, our home. As is tradition in our region, I will invite ladies from Ndulali to come forward and garland our guest, including our principal hosts, Dr. Robin Mitchell, our president, and our Secretary General, Mr. Rick Blas of Guam. President Bach, Mrs. Bach, members of the IOC delegation, ladies and gentlemen, we opened the formalities with the traditional Fijian protocol of Ibaka Sombu. If the guest arrives by motor vehicle, rather by sailing or a sailing vessel, as was previously the custom, the first ceremony is the presentation of a tambua or whale's tooth to welcome you, sir. This tambua is called the Ibaka meaning a presentation on the occasion of the guest's descent off the vehicle, previously off the sailing boat or sailing vessel, in this context of your vehicle. And now, to continue the traditional welcome ceremony, we will present to you a yongona, and as personally requested, it will be of little portion and very diluted. But this is made in your honor. But may I also say, first and foremost, is it is presented this afternoon on behalf of the traditional landowners of Suva, the capital of Fiji, and of course, the land of which ONOC House sits on. And I use this opportunity to also welcome the Tui Suva, who is the paramount chief of this region, Ratukini Tabaki Solomoni, who also joins us today to witness this official opening. Sir, it is also our custom that before we began the planning of this official opening, we presented to Ratukini Tabaki Yangona as well to ask for his blessings on your arrival as well as our plans for the opening of our ONOC house. So I'll now invite our ceremonies team to present the Sebu Sebu.
Sebu, sahabat turang asakan presiden ini songko-songko ning gitu ni pura-pura. Ino muni buno to pala kecing sing benangan kwa. Dana taletana lala salo se wai cing mata muni na mata kawinan sing kwa. Ang kona na sebu. Anon re sebu sa kecing na songko-songko ning gitu. Tambe sa kecing na mata kawinan sing kwa. Nalo mani bi matin tuan nalo mani wasa Pasifika. Saya sebu tali singani no muni bonwa. Gara bisa kacikina na songo na singi nani ko na lo mani matin to bici. Lo mani matin to tolu. Kumpuna nan roci kiciko na ngon turang na buni bolu ti kamba. Burin pasangan roci kiciko na ngon maramana kutin rekeci na maramana na turang na buni bolu na matin tu kan kangana tobatan. Turang ni bonwa san tambe. Andono mai non roci kiciko na ngon turang na tu suba. Nangona ni sebu sani mami bambula sa lulu bonwa ciko na singi nani ko. Salilai, siang nak kena puasa mata wirin tau kena. Saya tahu nak, dari nataro ir nataro leso ir me benua. Lapa sambung karaban matin tu, keir nak kena mata songko-songko ni kembali itu kona andon kamu nanga. Lapa kena iba sombu, ndo talan nak kela itu nang lala salah sewai. Nama ni sini stabin namni nama kena bukan dibekai baru tagi. Akhirnya sang namni bidu kamu. Puasa suci ni dapat itu rakan puasa ni angkau ni sibu. Sahabat ambara. Nunggu balik uno sahabat ambo cikin kena murah sosor gatu.
Sa tarai ringomi cikumbangan angkona. Sa ringomi batana kena bosorong-rong binaka kena naki saba-saba. Sama ibare tagi juga na singa lebu ni singa binaka ni kuah. Dayangona sa rambe baturang at siguban na presiden ni song-songo ningi to iburu-bura. Dayangona na isebu-sebu sa baturang at sigumbaga may nabunwa. Enalaman ni song-songo ningi to na wasa Pasifika. Na kaya nabubale viterini sandambe na singalebu ni singa binani kuha. Waka kine nabunwa ay nandaw numay iwan na turangan na tuisuba. na ngona sebu chichigina na ngai ya do chiko mai na no munu bonua nungu ngoni turanga na singelebu ni kuwa nu samai tumberewe cindona kamunanga mai wasumburi kina na non ngai na turanga na president ni songo ningito burubura nu mai varete ga bugi chikondona ngona ese buti chikina na non rembula ese buti chikina na lonra na singelebu ni kuwa sara da buti chikola na non rababine binaka tege chikona yalo ni bivingomi na yalo ni biva toke take kila itani kina no munu bonua vau sa tugune chona vingomi choni wasombu nindona ngau na randa urongo de tulinga nindona ngau na randa usara de tulinga ia rababine binaka tege ya nira kara okachira nira kalungata nira yado mai no munu bonua no ngungani turanga na singale buni kuwa numai matana tiga na kene tobo ni biva mene ni biva turanga tagi babonua sakale buchigina na babine binaka numai I varete ke tsona bosini angona isibse buno da buche tsona no munu bosini tatau ke bakara na manilesu merna ngai bagi tala no tagia na vika sarmai vanjin njina tagia na singale uni singale kwa me nukulana no gono turanga rabia basa bulana turanga na presidendi na vika nu mai ngarabia na singale uni singale ni kwa erevoni na ndramule na singani kwa me na ndramu patakaya esa ni tala no le sutu ni bonu vivo no era na pambutukia esa ni tala no tu ni na rambula na itobo ni viva mene ni viva turanga taki no mai matana tege na singale uni singale ni kwa no boso cia areva na kaya njitumai lingala na president ni songo ningite burubura mena ndolele suna lom no na kana nongu ngani turanga ia na no munu yangona na kena bosa na kena yalo sa vangare de lingalo malangi bona kolombula me sombu na no viva kalonga taki kalonga to tsona songo ningite na wasa pasifika kalau ngata batu ciko na kena bola misalnya mai dua batu ciko na kena dolabi na singani kuwa rambagi kalau ngata bagutula na kamunu na turangan na presidendi ni songo ningi to ibura binga no binakam dala na binga no satu matanda mana jina amdo na sebu mbega lebu na kena yalu binakam mbega lebu awo cimbaka naka
President Bach, Mrs. Bach, members of the IOC delegation, members of Oceania National Olympic Committee, For 41 years, the Oceania National Olympic Committees, or ONOC, did not have a permanent home. So today is a celebration of this historic achievement, sir. Today, this piece of land, which belongs to the customary landowners of Suva, who are represented by the Tui Suva, who is here this afternoon. Today, we, you, all our national Olympic committees are arriving home. This is your home. From a rich foundation beginning in ancient Greece, then to France, within the dream of Pierre de Coubertin, to part of the sporting movement now in Fiji and in the region, you, our Oceania, can find a home. A home from where your needs will be met. A home where we ensure that we continue our collaboration, our partnerships, for the benefit of all our athletes who are at the very heart and the center of what we do. As is Fijian and Oceania tradition and practice, it gives me great pleasure to invite forward Reverend James Bhagwan to come forward and open our proceedings with a prayer. Reverend Bhagwan.
Warm greetings to you all from the Pacific Conference of Churches, our regional ecumenical body. It is an auspicious time for people of faith. Yesterday, our Muslim brothers and sisters celebrated the feast of Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of Ramadan. Christians are in the season of Easter, and recently our Jewish friends and family celebrated Passover, as well as special occasions for the Hindu and Sikh community. And to top it off, for those who like Star Wars, today is the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. Let me share a song of ascents of Solomon. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. In vain you rise early and stay up late toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to all those he loves. In deep acknowledgement that the divine spirit hovered over the face of our oceans before our islands were born, that we are created in the image of the divine and part of the ecological web of life called creation, and that we are offered life in abundance, in peace and harmony with all as children of God. We lotu, we masu, we pray. God of the Vanua, the Wasawasa, and the Langi-Langi, the land, the sea, and the heavens. As we gather here in the harbor of your safety, we thank you for fellowship and fraternity in sports. As we come together today, we give you thanks for the good gifts you give us. As we gather to celebrate and seek your blessing on this new space for those who work for excellence and sports and for unity around Olympic values in our region, we thank you for the IOC, for ONOC, and the hardworking team that has strived to ensure the completion of this building, and those who will work and serve sports in the region here. We ask for your guidance in our lives, in our work, and we pray that your love will live among us. We pray that in the spirit of the Olympic truce, the goodwill generated by sports may bear fruit, promoting peace and reconciliation throughout our region and the world. We ask that you strengthen us, restore us, and inspire us with your love. Lord, you would fill us with your peace so that as we journey onwards, we would pour out your love and grace to others. We ask that our souls will catch the wind of your spirit so that we would take your promises of love and peace to all the earth. We pray this in the name of our risen Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. Amen.
President Bach, Mrs. Bach, members of the IOC delegation, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the helm of organizing first our Secretary's General Workshop in Guam, and then our General Assembly that took place yesterday, including 2 days of Olympic Solidarity workshops, is our Secretary General, Mr. Ricardo Blas, who is president of the Guam National Olympic Committee and also based in Guam. We have a symbiotic working relationship with Rick, who manages the work in Suva under the guidance of the president, Dr. Mitchell, remotely from Guam, with 13 staff who are based here in Suva. And we have 2 staff that are positioned out in the region. He has the task this afternoon of officially welcoming everyone, but also introducing, he needs no introduction, our president, Mr. Thomas Bach, and after which Mr. President Bach will then deliver his keynote address and officially open the building before we move across for the ceremonial parts of the opening. So Rick, I invite you forward to welcome everyone. You can come down the stairs, sorry.
Thank you, Inoki, and good afternoon to everyone. I want to first welcome the President of the International Olympic Committee, President Thomas Bach and Mrs. Bach. I also want to welcome the government officials from the Republic of Fiji, the Diplomatic Corps, the sports stakeholders, especially FASANOC, who hosts many of our meetings with ONOC and is the host member of ONOC. And especially to the NOC presidents and secretary general. And I can never forget my Olympic Solidarity team, who's been a very instrument in regards to what we do in this region. So welcome and thank you again for being here this afternoon. It's been a long journey, a journey that I wish 3 of my staff were here. They had started with me back in 2009. And I would still like to recognize them because they've sat with me, they discuss with me, they try to help, try to find the right place, and oftentimes I thought it was the right place, but sometimes they have their opinions. So I do like to recognize the late Hanisi, Tale, and Dennis, because all 3 were always with me in looking for these places, and today we celebrate that honor and honor of the regional office. As Inoki had mentioned, for 41 years we have been without a designated home. It's always the home of the Secretary General. But I realized back in 2009 that needed to change. We needed to look for a central location and always the hub. And as you know, for many of us, the hub is always between Guam and Fiji. But ideally, Fiji was the choice, and it's very rich in tradition. For the last 3 days, you have been showered with the welcome of the Fijian culture, even this morning. It represents the ideal Olympic movement in this setting. It's about the cultures, the sports movement. It's the spirit of the Olympic movement. And again, in the presence of our president of the International Olympic Committee and our president, Dr. Robin Mitchell, who has led this organization. And I also would like to recognize President Kevin Gosper, who led us back in 1989. We're still together in this movement, and we look forward to continuing in this movement. So with this said, I'd like to welcome the President of the International Olympic Committee, President Bach. Thank you.
Dear Olympic friends, all protocol observed. Let me please first of all express my deep respect to the landowners and to the distinguished Tui Suva for being here with us at this very special moment, not only for the Oceanian Olympic committees, but also for the International Olympic Committee. Also a great thanks to you, Father, for your very thoughtful prayer, highlighting in your prayers the mission of the Olympic movement for excellence, understanding, and peace, and for making the world a better place through sport. But I understand you have a special bond also to sport. It's not only your spiritual bond with our values, but that yourself, this is at least what I was told, but looking at you, it must be true that you're an athlete, and that you're a stand-up paddler and preparing for the 10K race. So we wish you all the very best, and in this occasion then our prayers are with you. It is indeed a great day. It's a day of pride and a day of joy. There I would like to congratulate first of all the ONOC President, my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Robin Mitchell, for this great achievement of, after 41 years, finally having a real home. And being supported by your Secretary General, Ricardo Blas, building this home for the entire Olympic family in Oceania. We in the IOC have a certain idea of the feelings you must have now. It reminds me a little bit of the time about 3 years ago when we were about to open our Olympic house in Lausanne. And I can still feel the anticipation, but also the satisfaction of having achieved such a milestone in the development of your organization, because I'm sure this will be the home for everybody in the Oceanian National Olympic Committees. It will be the Oceanian Olympic House where everybody can feel very, very much welcome. This new home, I can assure you, again by experience, will be a great inspiration for everybody working in ONOC and for everybody working in this new headquarters. Because from there you can plan an even better, an even brighter future for ONOC, for the athletes in the region, and for the Oceanian National Olympic Committees. You will feel inspired by this togetherness. You will feel inspired by this feeling to work for more excellence in all of the areas of your activities. And you will be inspired by an outlook into 10 years from now, when you will have the Olympic Games Brisbane 2032. It means when you will have the Olympic Games back in Oceania. And with this, it's hard to say what my speechwriters always writing me, that then the Olympic spirit would come back to Oceania. It's a nice sentence, but it's not true. Because the Olympic spirit is fully alive here in Oceania all the time. And this is thanks to the work of you, Dr. Mitchell and Ricardo Blas, and thanks to the work of all the national Olympic committees in the region. Whenever we come here, we can feel this spirit, and not only when you are dancing all night. It's even present in the discussions over the day, when you feel that here in Oceania, you really take an holistic look at what it means to be a member of the Olympic movement. Yes, it is about sport and about the athletes. Yes, it is great to have the Olympic Games back in your region. But all this does not make the Olympic Games so special and the Olympic movement so special. What makes them special is and are the Olympic values. It is our mission to make the world a better place through sport. And there I can really congratulate you and thank you from the bottom of our heart how you're accomplishing this mission, how you have taken this mission to your heart, and how you're living these values. You're not just talking about the values. You are not just praising the values. You are living these values. You have been living them for a long, long time, and you have a clear strategy and a determination also to live them in the future. And there I hope, and I'm sure, that with the IOC Olympic Agenda 2020 plus 5, we can offer you again a roadmap on what it means to address these values in our modern, in our ever-changing times, how we have tried to do it with Olympic Agenda 2020, and how you were among the first ones setting benchmarks in the realization of Olympic Agenda 2020 and the allocation of the Olympic Games 2032 to Brisbane, to Oceania, is a demonstration of the appreciation we have at the IOC, how you are understanding these reforms and how you're addressing the challenges of our time in sport. The main focus of this Olympic Agenda 2020 plus 5 is the contribution of sport to the realization of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This is the clear strategy and is the focus of this new agenda. And there, Father, you have expressed it. There, the sport has a lot to offer, but also has a great responsibility, because sport has become more and more an important part in our society. Sport is affecting more and more people in our world. Sport is fascinating more and more people in our world. But it's also for sport. It's true what for each and everybody of us is true. Every success brings a responsibility with it. And every success also brings with it the conscience that you can have success only if you are working together. If you have people around you, if you have a team around you. This in sport, the athlete is learning at the very early stages that without a coach, without parents getting them to the training, without friends, without respecting the rules for a team and living in a team, there is no sport, there is no success. And this is a learning for life. Nobody in this life can have success on his or her own. You need people around. And you need to work together with these people. This is why we have amended there just last year our Olympic motto, our classical Olympic motto, which, by the way, and there I'm coming again back to you, Father, was not invented or created by Pierre de Coubertin, as so many people are thinking, the faster, higher, stronger. It was a Christian monk, Henri Didon, who created this Olympic motto. And after more than 100 years, we dared to amend it, because we said you can only get faster, you can only aim higher, you can only become stronger if you work together, if you show solidarity. And with this togetherness, with this solidarity, we can indeed contribute a lot to the realization of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. This is about, very obvious, it's about health, it is about gender equality, it is about solidarity, it is about education, because without education you cannot make the world a better place for the next generation. Physical activity and sport is extremely important for health, for physical health, and as we have just had to learn the hard way during the pandemic, also for mental health. Sport can be an example for solidarity and is an example of solidarity. How the National Olympic Committees of Oceania are working together to make each and every one of them stronger. How we in the entire Olympic community have been working together in solidarity last year to make the Olympic Games at Tokyo 2020 possible, even during a pandemic. And having during this pandemic 205 national Olympic committees together at one place to celebrate these Olympic Games of hope, peace and solidarity. And also there again, the Oceania National Olympic Committee leading by example. Because for you it was maybe the most difficult to get your athletes there to Tokyo to overcome not only the pandemic, but the travel restrictions, the many obstacles. And you have done it, but you could only do it because you were working together in solidarity. And this leads also to the contribution of sport to peace, because without solidarity, there is no peace. It is not enough to respect each other. That's already something. But in order to have peace, we must go this one step further. We have not only to respect each other, we have to help each other to overcoming the gaps. And this means to overcoming the reasons for war and confrontation. If you're only telling somebody, oh, I respect you very much, but you do not do anything to help, to assist, to bridge the gaps, then it is not enough as a contribution to peace. And this is why at the opening ceremony of Tokyo, I made this appeal, this call on the world to say, give peace a chance. Unfortunately, our hopes were shattered just a couple of days then after the closing ceremony. But this will not prevent us to work even harder, to do even more for solidarity, to do even more for peace by living in even more solidarity. Because this is one of the lessons we have learned from the pandemic and from this war. We need more solidarity. We need more solidarity within societies, and we need more solidarity among societies. And this solidarity means also that we in sport have a responsibility to address the challenges humankind is facing. And there I can only here concentrate on one. It's about poverty, it's about a confrontation, it's about so many challenges, it's about health crisis. But in particular here in Oceania, it is also about climate change. And this is another typical example where nobody can do anything alone. We can all say individually we are fighting against climate change. If we are not working together, and if we are not working all together, we will achieve nothing. There it is about the weakest link. The strongest links can do as much as they want. As long as the weakest link is not strong enough, we will achieve nothing. And this is why also sport has to make its contribution to a fight climate change. And we are doing this, and again together with ONOC, and you're doing it within ONOC by having initiated by the IOC the Sport for Climate Action Framework, where in the meantime we have inspired about 300 sports organizations worldwide to make their contribution by reducing carbon emissions, by making their contribution in the meantime to compensate or overcompensate even the carbon emissions, by making their contribution in inventing and finding and creating new ways to organize events, by addressing climate change in everything they do every day, with their working methods, with their way of thinking. Because again, we have to show more solidarity, and we need this solidarity within societies and among societies. And in all this, ONOC was always leading. You have always understood this. You have always been working for a better education. You have always been working for solidarity. You have always been working for peace. You have always been concentrating on the health of everybody and making a contribution to a better health by and through and within sport. This is why this the moment here today is not only a congratulation to the new headquarters. It's a big thank you from the bottoms of our heart to ONOC and to all of you for living the Olympic values in such an extraordinary way. So may the new building inspire you even more. may it encourage you even more to contribute to make the world a better place through sport. And as a small token of our great respect and appreciation, I would like to hand over to your president the IOC President's Trophy, which is reflecting some of these values, because it shows an image on the Olympic House being seen from the top. And there you have two messages. Olympic House in Lausanne is one of the most sustainable buildings in the world, according to international certifications. So you have the clear commitment to a sustainable development. And on the top of our Olympic House, we have formed by solar cells the symbol of peace, the dove, with in their rings the Olympic rings. So may this be a blessing also for the Olympic House of Oceania, and may it encourage you and everybody who is coming to this house to work for a sustainable development in the region and beyond, and to work for peace through sport. Congratulations, and thank you, dear Robin.
A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. President Bach, thank you for reminding us about living the Olympic values, the opportunities that Brisbane 2032 presents Oceania, and the presence of our Oceania leaders. The alignment to Olympic Agenda 2020 +5, something at the heart of everything we do in our planning and strategic intent, especially in the ever-changing times and the pandemic that we're living through. Thank you for affirming Oceania in the role we play in setting the benchmark, if I were to borrow your words. Thank you for reminding us about sport and the role it plays, the importance of working together and having good people around you, and of course sharing with us the insight on the Olympic motto and the change, and to contextualize it in the direction that the Olympic movement is taking and how it relates to us here in Oceania. Thank you for reminding us about the alignment to the Sustainable Development Goals, very central to the work that our ONOC International Relations Commission is also doing. Thank you for affirming us about leading by example in our region. And thank you as well for reminding us about the role of sport in the fight against climate change, something very key, very dear to us, very important to us here in Oceania. I'm going to invite our President, Dr. Robin Mitchell, to respond to your words and to say and move a vote of thanks. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you very much, Inoke. Thank you, Mr. President, Thomas, and to your team for taking the time to be here with us in Oceania. So every time, over the past few weeks, it has been raining a lot. And since your arrival in Suva, the sun shines. But I think as soon as we finish this ceremony, it'll probably rain again. But recognizing and thanking Tala Tala, all the best in the race. You got the support of the IOC, probably can give you a scholarship for your training. Recognizing Tuisuba, it's been a pleasure hosting the colleagues from the region and also the administrators from the Fiji Olympic Committee. Thank you to your excellencies, the ambassadors here in Fiji, But I'd just like to also recognize Monsieur Francois Javier Léger, the ambassador for France. On the 8th of April, President, we launched Paris 2024 Relay. The embassies of France within the world started the relay in Suva. And the teams were from the French embassy, the French companies, ONOC and ONOC, a formidable team. We had to run for an hour. And at the end of an hour, I know. It's all the side effects of last night, I'm sure. But after an hour, then the relay moved on to Canberra. And so it went for the next 24 hours. So for us, it's the link between the Olympics in Beijing and looking forward to France. The building that we have is a special personal significance for me. In the early days, and I'm talking about the 1960s, to do your A-levels or the New Zealand University entrance, you had to come to Suva. There was only one high school that catered for the whole of Fiji. Two of us from Levuka came, and we lived in a house behind the building that we purchased. This was my training ground for the '63 South Pacific Games. And it's not a new building, it's a new old building, very old building. It was a one-level building, and the family added second section and a third section. So you'll see an office in progress. We've renovated it, or started to, and COVID happened. We started again when Fiji opened, but there were no supplies. And earlier this quarter, it rained, and it rained. So if you see few little creases in the lawn, it's growing. It'll be better soon. But there's some more work to do, but we're aiming to have a sustainable office. We have the solar panels up, but the battery doesn't arrive until 3 months' time. It's good for the photos. But it's a sustainable office, as you see, an open office, but it's one that aims to mirror the objectives of Olympic House in Lausanne. And thank you for this. I think there's gold in it. It's heavy. So we shall melt it and put it together again. But just going back in history, I'd just like to recognize, as Rick did, our doyen, Kevin Gosper. He was there from the beginning, many, many moons ago. And he was also an Olympic medalist, Commonwealth Games medalist, and he trained here. Thomas was also in the first group of athlete commission members in 81 when it all started. So many, many historical links. But also you can see it's the story of Oceania. We get something old, something good, and we build on it and hope that will inspire all of us. Thank you, Minava Level, for coming. And the dancing continues tonight. Well, as Inoki announced earlier, we will be progressing to cut the ribbon with a group of people, and slowly you'll come across the road to see what's happening. But in the meantime, I believe there's some refreshments waiting for you. But thank you all for coming. Thank you, President. It's always a pleasure to have you back in the region. Naka.
President, ladies and gentlemen, as Dr. Mitchell mentioned, we will move the official party across the road for the blessing of the House, as well as the ribbon cutting by President Bach. I forgot to mention that we're also live streaming the event today for members of our ONOC who are not able to be here in person, and also for the media who are following our coverage of this opening. So I'm going to invite President Bach, Dr. Mitchell, and Secretary General Blas, as well as the Reverend Bhagwan. We're also going to invite Mrs. Bach as well to join the delegation, and Tui Suva to join the team to move across. We're going to stream the blessing of the house as well as the official opening, and then we'll break for afternoon tea. Once the official party's been through the building, then the staff are on standby to take you across, to actually take you on a tour of the building. So thank you again, President Bach. If we can just show our appreciation to him and also to the members of the IOC team that are here. Just ask our protocol officer to move people across, yeah. I can have Mrs. Claudia Bach, if you can also join the delegation. Thank you. Maybe our technical team can just switch or turn the screen to the group in front here so they can also see. Turn the screen. We can turn the screen so the guests in front can see. And we'll have a number by the choir. Thank you. As mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to now in ONOC House before we then invite President Bach to officially cut the ribbon to open ONOC House. Thank you, Reverend Bhagwan.
Redeeming and sanctifying, acknowledging Spirit is with us. Of our minds. Grant that all who plan and conduct business in this office may, through your guidance and support, come to right decisions and carry them out fairly. May God, the Father of good, And may Almighty
President Bach to unveil the plaque that details today's opening ceremony, the 4th of May 2022. Can our guests and staff across the tent acknowledge with a round of applause as we officially unveil the plaque. And the second part is the ribbon cutting. So I'm going to invite Anna, one of our staff members. Grow up, and we, Dr. Mitchell, yes. Rick, thank you. Inventory sana go. Go ni dulu. Once again, a round of applause as we acknowledge President Bach for officially to commemorate the opening of ONOC House. The photographers just asked for a group photo just in front of the building while we have you before you move in. Yeah, okay. We'll do this one first and then we come in. So can I have you just follow me with Dr. Mitchell and Rick and Tusuba? Warriors on the side? Okay.
And then warriors next to them.
Have you stand here, sir? Kesa, takabi na kanasasan. Doc on this side. And Rick on this side. Ningolama, yes. Mrs. Bach, Dr. Rosemary, come Gunilla. Yep. Warriors on either side.
Can I ask that you just come forward, just in front of the drain, just so that it's hidden behind.
There you go.
So keep coming forward, one more step. Yeah, that's great.
Kevin's this side.
Can I ask that we do one with the four of you first, and then we'll do a group photo with the ladies.
You want the warriors in the
Alex, get that. That's all. Terus rakyat itu udah kerja apa Friday. Itu sa waktu kami itu sesuatu kita suatu di trek. Suara sinfu. Pulau mau tahu. Bisa kayak bisa besar gitu. Umbal mau gitu. Itu pun di minister apa juga satu itu pun bisa tidak apa. Asal sudah kan. Oke. Wala lang di wa buket. Iyo. Masih tu. Senta. Bor senta. Oke. Set.
Thank you. Thank you. We trust that you enjoyed the opening ceremony this afternoon. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we'll clear the chairs here so you're able to come through, or you can enjoy Albert Park as people are playing sport this afternoon to close off and enjoy the tea as well. At this juncture, we'd also like to acknowledge and thank all those that have joined us on the live stream. We trust you've enjoyed our broadcast this afternoon, and follow us on our ONOC channels to be able to see more of what ONOC has to offer. Again, thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to everyone. Inaka. If I can invite our runners and staff who are free to stack the chairs to be able to allow people to come in and also enjoy their afternoon tea here. Got it. I'll hold on to it. We can hold on to it. Take it in. Take it in here. Okay, sir. Thank you. I'm just taking some photos. Okay, set. You taking some water for the policeman?